This is going to be my first time doing Douyin makeup for one of my dress transformation videos. Firstly, we do have to figure out this hair. Usually I wear wigs for my transformation videos. I actually want to wear my bob. I'm going to add a clip and extension for fullness. They were too long in December. So let's see if my hair blends more now. That's perfect. I'm trying to emulate Rapunzel's hair at the end of Tangled when Flynn chopped it off. I'm going to put some soft curls in my hair. Rapunzel's hair was a lot shorter, but this length will do. This is it. This is pretty generally what I wanted my hair to look like. Now we're ready for makeup. Okay, let's get started. Today we're going to do some Douyin makeup that would work for Valentine's Day. I am in desperate need of a good eyebrow gel. My eyebrows really don't stay down for anything. They have a slight wave to them, so the roots are lifted. My eyebrows are basically wavy or curly. They grow so long that I can see them make a little S curl. I almost forgot a key tip. I always go on either Snapchat or TikTok. I put it on the mirror tool. When you use a mirrored filter, it makes you see your face differently than you usually do. It really exposes some flaws that you might not notice about your makeup. This is Edge Control Edge Booster. I just stole it from my mom's bathroom. Got to be gel and edge control give me a decent amount of hold. I'm definitely going to get the Refi Brow Gel because I'm ready to get my eyebrows together. This is definitely the trouble brow. I had to do my brows first because otherwise it'll turn my skincare white. I'm pretty easy going with primers. Two primers that I typically use are e.l.f. Poreless Primer or the Too Faced Hangover RX primer, but something that has made a significant difference is layering skincare as if it's primer. This is my little bag of skincare. The Glow Recipe sent me some PR, but I also have all my skincare in this little bag. So essentially what we're going to do is layer and layer and layer skincare until we have a shiny layer of skincare on our face. This not only acts like a primer for me, it also makes my skin look so good. It's so fresh. When I take off my makeup, my skin is dull. It looks congested and I really have to exfoliate and do all the works to kind of make my skin look okay again. I never knew that I could prevent that until I started layering my skincare before a full face of makeup. But that could also be due to the fact that I'm a lot more comfortable with satin and dewy skin, especially if it's only on the high points of my face. To be oily in my T-zone is less of a preference. If you're gonna try this, I would be cautious of using the wrong actives together. I often use the Klairs Vitamin C in my skincare routine, but I'm not going to use it because this product has AJs, and I hear that you shouldn't mix these together. My skin is looking pretty moisturized and it's a little bit tacky. I'm going to finish it off with the Hangover RX. This honestly smells so good. I don't have a makeup fan, so I usually use this pimple patch bag to dry off my face a little bit. Not want to get foundation on this beautiful cardigan. This cardigan is from Shop Fruitful. It's a super cute faith-based boutique, and I got this for Christmas and it's just so cute and I love it and I wear it all the time. Because the way that I do Douyin makeup, it's heavy coverage. I'm going to have to mix some complexion products to get a close match. This is extra. You don't have to do this if you have a color that works perfectly on you, but I find that the heavier coverage a foundation is, the more you can tell that it doesn't match your skin tone. And we're doing full glam. So first I'm going to take LA Girl Pro Conceal and I'm actually going to carve out my eyebrows. It isn't as popular to carve out your brows these days, but I've noticed if I don't do this, my eyebrows kind of blend into my face instead of framing it. Maybe I should zoom you in. I recognize that with East Asian makeup, their brows are usually straight. I am still trying to figure out my visual weight. I think I'm a little bit more in the middle. I think my features are prominent enough that I can handle heavier brows. These aren't perfect. I didn't even fill my brows in, but makeup will get into my eyebrows if I don't carve them out and make them lose definition. So I'm kind of creating a boundary before I start with complexion. Speaking of complexion, let's get started with my foundation mix. I'm going to take some more of the Pro Conceal. I'm going to do a pump of the Haus Labs foundation. Best feature about this foundation is that it never looks cakey. I think this is the shade 490 Medium Deep Cool, but ironically I find it a little bit too warm for me. I'm going to go in with 2.5 pumps of this LA Girl color corrector. I know this is a lot. I'm going to put in a little spot of this Juvia's Place Barbie Rose blush. And lastly, we're going to go in with a pump of the Glow Recipe. Maybe a half. That's my mix from memory. Now it's time to blend it out and see if it matches well. It's maybe a half a shade too dark, but I don't mind. This is a Real Techniques foundation brush. Have any of you tried those skincare spatulas? I think I first saw Erica use it. I have a feeling that it's not going to work unless you have no texture on your skin. But if you've used it, I really want to know if it worked for you, because I'm pretty sure I can buy it off of Yes Style or maybe Olive Young, and I would like to try. I had to take a short break to charge the camera. My foundation has dried down. Here's what it looks like. This is the Hourglass Concealer in Umber. This is Born This Way Concealer in Mocha. It's hard because I don't want my makeup to look like a mask, but again, this needs to be full coverage. So, still color matched my concealer. I'm going to take this Real Technique brush and we're going to start slowly. I did not use the dewdrops because I want this to be full coverage. I'm using the same foundation brush to blend out the color. It's a lot of makeup and I just want to avoid it looking cakey as much as possible. I have a very slender jaw, so I feel like highlighting here brings balance to my face. It also naturally reverse contours. Powder for me is one of the most important steps. I want a baby soft finish. The One Size setting powder in Ultra Pink. I really like the pink color on my skin tone. This next layer of powder, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier in Translucent Medium D. I don't typically use Laura Mercier powder because it turns my face orange. I've seen videos of people mixing different powders together. The pink might make this a little bit more wearable. A lot of people rave about how good the Laura Mercier powder is, and so I'll do whatever technique to get some use out of this powder. If you notice, we're starting to get that mask effect. At this point, I figure it just comes with the territory of doing high coverage makeup, so as long as it's a pretty mask, I guess. Now that the powder is laid down, I'm going to use this to contour. I personally feel like the contour where you carve out the cheekbones doesn't really suit my face because I don't have cheekbones. When I smile, you can see my cheeks, but when it's just sitting, my head kind of just looks like an oval. To accurately shade, I would have to go over the jawline, but I'm going to avoid that because I want my jaw to be a little wider. Taking a powder puff, I'm using the powder mixture. I technically might be baking, but I'm not letting the powder sit. I'm just putting it on and then I brush it away. I'm also keeping the powder pretty low because when I buff it away, I feel like it spreads out. I'm going to take the Maybelline Fit Me powder under my eyes. I'm going to go over my eyelids as well. We're done with the powder. Let me zoom you in so that you can see the texture. I always want to be real about the texture. It can be a lot. It can get really cakey and look like a lot of makeup. Online, you can fake it. If you want to wear this out in real life and not look like you're wearing so much makeup, it's going to take a lot of skills that I do not have yet. I'm going to do my eyes and the references are really simple. I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty Empowered palette and I'm going to use the shade Rebel, which in person is a mauve pink. Then I'm also going to take the Ethereal Eyes palette and there is another mauve pink color there. I'm not using a lot of color today. I'm going to dabble into some of these brown shades. There's Legacy and Get It. These corner shades in the Ethereal Eyes palette, I'm just going to lightly go over that. Just a light wash of color. I'm going to tap my brush into the top row of the Master Mattes palette and just brighten up the inner corner. I'm going to take those crease colors and just blend it out a little bit. So this is what it looks like. Both of my reference photos today have winged liner, so we gotta do it. I'm using the Sigma Winged Liner EO6 brush. I'm going to start off with using this dark brown shade in the Master Mattes palette. Makeup brushes are something that you can be pretty frugal with, but this brush is more than worth the money. Now I'm just inching the eyeliner inward. I wanted to start off with this soft brown shade in case black would be too harsh, and I think that was the right move. I don't know if I want to put black on top of this, and that's going to be our wing for now. I just wiped off the same brush and I'm using the LA Girl concealer and I'm going to clean up my wing. From the Empowered palette, there are some cream eyeshadows. I'm going to take the black cream and I'm going to use it to extend my wing outward. That's what it looks like. I think it does emphasize that my eyes are downturned. but I don't really mind that. We're going to do our lower lashes now. I'm taking this cream colored eyeliner from ColourPop. I'm taking that over all of my under eye. We need the coverage. You can take a peach colored eyeshadow and we're going to start patting it on. I'm using peach because that's a nice highlighted color on me, but you can use whatever color would work on your skin tone. Peach just looks a bit less harsh on me than white. What I'm trying to do is really distract from my natural aegyo styles. I might also go in with white where you can really see my bags. Now, does that look the best? No, it looks quite creepy, but it's the base that we need to create new aegyo styles. Again, I'm so sorry. I know that you're probably so sick of using powder, but we're going to take the Fit Me powder now, and we're going to work it over into my under eyes. This is why I say makeup is customizable to you, because I'm sure some people are looking at this and like, there's no way that I would be able to recreate this. It's all about trial and error. Adjust whatever to what works for you, friend. And that's totally fine because we're all different and you might need a different technique from me to get a similar look. That's totally fine. After doing all that to get rid of my aegyo styles, now it's time to finally draw them back in. NYX Lift and Snatch for this part. So, like that, and blur out. I'm going to start tapering it and using this brush to kind of blur it out. I'm also going to take this eyeliner and I'm going to extend outwards and draw a new lash line. But I'm going to connect it inward. My brush, I'm going to go in and emphasize that line. That's what we're looking like so far. I always recommend watching Dear Peachy. It's a cute channel here on YouTube that talks a lot about East Asian makeup styles, and she gives a great rundown, I think, on how to navigate learning how to do this style on your face shape. I've learned a lot from watching that channel. This side is looking pretty harsh. Bummer. I'm going to keep going from the Empowered palette, which is a lighter soft brown, and I'm just going to start blending in these harsh lines and create a highlight at the edges of my eyes. And that helps just a little bit. I'm still learning how to do this myself. It's not going to be perfect. Let's add on some glitter. We're going to start off with the Moon Dust Urban Decay Space Cowboy glitter eyeshadow. I'm just going to dab on the sparkle. Use a little from the Ethereal Eyes palette, this top champagne color. That one's a little bit more sparkly than Urban Decay. I'm going to go in with this glitter that I got from Aliexpress. I'm genuinely trying hard not to just cover my whole eyelids in this glitter. A texture shot of this makeup. Let's go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup. So I'm going to take the Haas Labs blush in Watermelon Bliss. We are going to blush the nose, of course, but first we have to contour. I'm going to take that Fenty Pro Filter powder, upturn my nose. I'm dabbing on the contour, contouring my nose with my nose lifted. Contour the bottom in a V shape. I'm going to add the blush in the shape of a small, like a triangle. I'm going to reverse contour with some Fit Me powder. Can't forget to highlight, and I'm going to highlight my nose with Rare Beauty. I take it up in between my eyebrows. This is such a good highlighter. And softly brush that in. This is the Superstay Vinyl Ink from Maybelline, and it's this nude color. I'm really just making sure that my lips are fully concealed. The Peri Para Ink Mood Glowy Tint in the limited edition shade 20. I think it's called Brown Yakwa, Yakwa. And I'm going to overline my cupid's bow. This is a very warm orangey shade, but we're gonna add more colors, so it's okay. The shade Cherry So What. I'm gonna put that into the center of my lips. These colors aren't the exact same as on the photos, but I feel okay with switching it up since I have a different skin tone. I'm back, and you know something weird that I realized? Why did I curl my bangs up and back? I was supposed to do them down and forward, right? Anyway, I did put on some mascara. Now let's draw on the bottom lashes. Again, I learned how to do this from Dear Peachy, it's really hard to teach. I don't know how I could teach you guys to do this, but... Okay. Going to use the Elia Limitless Lash Mascara. You guys are probably wondering when we're doing the contacts. I would recommend that you put in contacts first because it's very difficult to get in contacts after you have all this makeup on. I'm taking this eyelash applicator and I'm gathering a couple lashes together, squishing them and then pulling down, and that's how I get them to look spiky. I believe I'm going to use the VV Ring Pink lenses from Olens. Here's a close look at the makeup, the eyes, the contacts. If you're wondering what VV Ring Pink looks like on dark brown eyes. This is how the makeup turned out. I think it looks pretty close to what I wanted for this video. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again in my next video.